Hi, I'm Elise and welcome to Witch Way. In this video, I'll be taking you through the witch lore of an American haunting. Released in 2005, this supernatural horror stars Rachel Hurd-Wood as Betsy Bell, Donald Sutherland as John Bell, Sissy Spacek as Lucy Bell, and James Darcy as Richard Powell. In 1817, strange occurrences start happening at the Bell family homestead, knocking and scraping in the roof, growling in the house, and physical attacks by an unseen force. These attacks are focused on Betsy Bell, who is tormented nightly. But where did this spirit come from? What is it trying to tell them, and how far is it willing to go to get its point across? This film is an adaptation of the book of the same name, which itself is inspired by the supposed real-world haunting of the Bell Witch. When I first heard of this legend, I assumed incorrectly that the infamous Bell Witch haunting the family was the spirit of a witch. This is not the case. Instead, the name comes from who called in the spirit. In 1817 Tennessee, John Bell apparently had a dispute with fellow farmer Kate Batts. Some sources say the dispute was about a previous transaction between the two, like in the film. Others that it was after John made light of Kate after she caused a disruption at their congregation. Either way, Kate was said to call down a curse upon John Bell and his family.
Treasure your land, health, and happy family while you can, for I swear a dreadful darkness will fall upon you and your precious daughter too.
Soon after, the Bell family noticed strange happenings beginning in their home, starting with unseen dogs growling and knocking and scraping noises in the roof. It was apparently with these knocks that the family could communicate with the spirit that had entered their home, which seemed to know a lot about the people of the area and even further abroad, and was noted to be a town gossip. Word spread of this haunting, and people came from far and wide to see the happenings in the Bell home. But soon things began to escalate. Covers were ripped from beds, hair pulled, and faces slapped by this unseen force. These attacks focusing on John Bell and his daughter Elizabeth Betsy Bell. When questioned who sent it, the spirit answered, this time not in knocks, but answering as clear as day, I am nothing but old Kate Batts's witch, determined to torment old Jack Bell out of his life. The spirit was then referred to as old Kate Batts's witch, Kate simply the witch, and of course the Bell Witch. Once word got out, people were quick to claim that they believed the spirit to be connected to Kate all along. Kate was said to beg pins from every lady she met. This was then believed to give her power over them, and that she stuck these pins into a stump at the Bell farm to command the spirit to use them on its next victim. Kate's neighbour was unable to churn butter after a solid 2 hours of churning, and suspecting witchcraft, thrust a hot poker into the churn, after which she visited Kate Batts, who had a burn on her hand, apparently a clear indication that it was indeed Kate bewitching her butter. In the film, John also starts to believe that a witch is to blame.
I have documented evidence. It's the testimony of Joan Jordan at the witch trial of all of Bartham, Suffolk, Assize of 1599. First, scraping on the walls, then knocking, after that, shuffling, and then it clapped the maid on the cheek half a score times.
He is referring to an event in Bury St Edmunds where, in 1599, Olive Bartham was found guilty of witchcraft and hanged, accused of sending 3 toads to destroy the rest of Joan Jordan. In the film, we don't see toads, but a black dog. It was said the Bell Witch spirit could take the form of a black dog and wasn't limited by the boundaries of the lands owned by the Bell family, able to roam the countryside. One tale tells of a person by the name of Dean coming across the Bell Witch in this form, who wasn't too happy as he was carrying a witch ball. Witch balls were apparently used as protection against witches' spells and evil spirits. Some are glass balls of blue or green and are hung in the eastern windows of a home, but this one is described as being made out of human hair, animal excrement, and various herbs. And in his fear, Dean dropped the witch ball, which apparently caught fire and emitted smoke, taking the Bell Witch off guard. Thankfully, Kate Batts lived in a time when witch trials were a thing of the past, and nothing came of these accusations, which she fervently denied. This, however, did not save John Bell, said to have been poisoned by the Bell Witch. In the film, he's not a person worth saving. This film scores for lore and history, and I liked the early 2000s horror vibes of this film, but it fell a little short for me. I also watched The Bell Witch Haunting from 2013, which was a total waste of my time. It was so boring and I absolutely hated it. But I loved looking into this poltergeist story. Though The Bell Witch is told as an historical account, other than news articles of the time, the full story accounting this and other events wasn't published until almost 100 years later in works such as The Authenticated History of the Famous Bell Witch. And this story has become legend, a famous haunting in American folklore. What did you think of the film? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any other witchy film recommendations. I've had quite a few coming in, which I am currently in the process of tracking down. Please remember to like this video and share it with anyone else who you think might enjoy it, as well as subscribing to my channel to stay notified of new content. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.